What's up, guys? Today I want to look at the top 2 reasons why I believe that the United States is not producing enough top quality players. Now, before we get into this, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and I definitely appreciate that. So with that being said, let's get into it. Reason number 1 is the pay-to-play system that exists in our country. Now, even myself being a club player, I know that thousands of dollars were spent, just to, join these teams. But that doesn't even include the traveling fees and, the other fees to go like these tournaments and stuff like that. All that adds up. That's just to play for the club. Usually costs a few thousand. And for a lot of players in the United States, if they're not playing for these clubs in these areas, they literally won't have any opportunities, because for high school soccer, you might have your local D1 coach, your local D2, D3 schools come watching you. Maybe some from, out of town, maybe a few hours away, but that's probably it. You're not going to have, the University of Maryland come into your game if you live in, Ohio or something like that, unless you're an exceptional high school player. But let's get back on track. I think there really needs to be, a complete disruption in the current system we have, because there are a lot of good players that I know who did not play club soccer and who ended up making it to really high levels of the game. And a lot of times, actually, a lot of the people who play on these club teams will just end up playing at Division III schools and, maybe not even playing all 4 years. They kind of just, fade out. Very probably few people play Division I who play for these club teams, and if they do, how many are actually going pro? If you really look at it, it's probably not much. So really, at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, is playing for one of these club teams going to be worth it for you? And when we look in terms of national team development, the amount of players that actually come up from these club teams and really are, candidates for the national team, once they're, 22, is probably very low. Now, the second reason that I want to talk about is a lack of opportunity specific at the collegiate level. Now, if you've been paying attention to college soccer, Marshall University out of West Virginia just recently won the NCAA College Cup on the men's side. Congratulations to them. Shout out Marshall University. Now, this school is in West Virginia, and I was actually pretty surprised because I've never even heard of this school for soccer ever. I've heard of the school, but never for athletics like that. So I was kind of, how did this school even win? Who's on their team? Surprising enough, I actually found a forum online, and they have a huge roster, and they do have a huge roster of international players. They have almost 50 players on their team, which is, almost unheard of in college soccer, and many of those players are international. Now, one of the topics that I saw on the forum was, it was good that they won the national championship, but they do have a lot of foreign players who would be taking, the spots of, who knows, maybe a player from West Virginia or something like that. Now, they did have quite a few players from West Virginia, but they definitely had more international. So, in a way, it is taking opportunities away from the people who live, near that school. But on the other side, college soccer is in a way a business. College coaches are looking to win games however they can. They're going to recruit the best players no matter where they're from. If the talent isn't there, they're going to look elsewhere. And not even just at that university. A lot of Division I college, especially Division II college schools, you see a ton of international players on their rosters. And usually the teams that are very good have many international players. Now, I can see both sides of this, but one thing I do think about is, if we're not even producing enough good players at the club levels and high school levels to actually, be on these teams to compete for national championships, that may be a problem, with youth development in our country, and maybe we need to see a change in that, because, other countries take soccer a lot more serious than the U.S. does. But anyway, those are my 2 reasons why I think there is a lack of success at the national level due to the lack of opportunities, one, and the pay-to-play system too. definitely interested to hear your guys' opinion about this. If you stayed the whole video, let me know in the comment section what you think are the reasons why, maybe our national team is not as good as it should be. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this one, and I'll catch you in the next one.